It's time for the Giz Wiz with Mad's Maddest Writer, Dick D. Bartolo. This is episode 1675, recorded Thursday, May 17th, 2018. Honey, I Shrunk the Tech. On this episode of the Giz Wiz, we have 3 more gadgets from the Time to Play event. I have another DIY homebrew gadget that will get your retro gears turning, and a viewer video. All next on the Giz Wiz!
It's the show with Dickie D and OMG chat on your PC. It's time for the Giz Wiz because gadgets are his business. They've got a gizmo sickness, geek disease, under pathology, rows and rows of USBs, glowing LEDs. Get ready for the Giz Wiz now.
Now, and here he is, your honor, Dick D. Bartolo. How are you doing, Dickie D?
I'm doing fine, sir. And you?
Woo! It's been a stressful Giz Wiz getting it started, but other than that, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Yes. Was it the Windows update?
It was.
It was.
You know, when it comes to the Mac PC debate, I could care less. Okay, they're both computers. They both have their flaws. But one thing that has never happened to me on a Mac is it update and suddenly everything has changed and I can't. The settings that I had don't work anymore. The programs that were kind of linked to other programs totally break. That's never happened to me on a Mac. And so that just is what happened to me on a PC.
No. What it is, I sort of figured out. It sort of says, you're doing something, and it says, we're going to update now.
Exactly.
And it says, or
and it tricks you,
later.
Too.
Yes, and you can hit later like once.
Yeah.
And then they get angry.
But you also don't realize when you say or later, you think it'll just prompt you later. No, you have now scheduled it to interrupt you no matter what is going on.
Yes.
At the time that was like in an asterisk down below in the fine print. Later is at 4 a.m.
Yes, I have mine set for between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. But behind the scenes, the choices are when you're in the middle of something, when you least expect it, or at the most inconvenient time ever. Those are your 3 choices.
Yeah, exactly. I swear that Microsoft has worked on an artificial intelligence to look at what you're doing to get the perfect time for that interruption to cause the most frustration.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
So anyway, that's what just happened right before the Giz Wiz. We're running almost 30 minutes late, but here we are. Thanks to our wonderful people in the chat room for
the chat room are entertaining themselves, entertaining me. It's just the chat room is great.
It's fantastic.
I tell you.
We could just tell the chat room to show up at a specific time. We don't even have to do a show, and they'd be entertained. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, let's get into this week.
Okay, so you want to just jump into gadgets?
Sure. Unless you have something you want to tell me.
No. I was just saying, if you're on the East Coast, we had terrible storms this week. Several tornadoes upstate New York, and there was and what was so funny is, what a pick is. I think they're owned by a new company. They are innovating, and they had a big event on the Intrepid, an aircraft carrier in the Hudson River.
Oh, wow.
Tuesday from 4 to 6. And Monday night, I said to Dennis, take a look at this forecast. Severe weather warnings with squalls starting Tuesday, 4 p.m.
Oh, my gosh. It read the invite. It was coming.
Yes, it read the invite. So it got put off till 5 o'clock, but we were on the Intrepid when the winds went by, and I swear that aircraft carrier moved a bit. It was ferocious. And the sad thing is, the room we were in actually built on top of the Intrepid, a room for meetings, and the whole back wall is glass. And we would have had the most spectacular view of the storm, except they electronically dropped the curtains for the slideshow, and you could just hear stuff flying around outside. And I kept thinking, oh, please raise the blinds. Anyway.
Oh my gosh. There's no, you might want to be on the sea in the worst of it. You don't want to be stuck on land.
I thought, thank God I wasn't on my 25-foot boat.
Yeah.
If there's going to be that kind of wind, an aircraft carrier is the place to be.
Exactly.
And that's where we were. Anyway, and you, everything good there?
Yeah, everything's going great. It was kind of a lazy weekend. This next weekend, I'm heading to Houston. I'm taking a drive to Mine Fair, so another Minecraft convention. Be setting up a booth and meeting people there. So, been gearing up for that. So, just putting the house in order, putting my booth back together to make sure I could fit it all in my trunk and drive it down to Houston. So yeah.
Oh, great. I just Ranger Rick and Maggie sent us this last week, and I forgot to show it. Isn't that sweet?
That's adorable.
Hats off to us and a mustache for beginning show 1 of year 4. So this is show 2 of year 4. So guys, thank you. That is so sweet of you to think about that.
Yeah. Oh man, that's great.
Excellent. All right, so time to play. Last week we took a week off and did pets. So this week we're going to go back to Time to Play magazine with this gadget.
Help! 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 I'm being eaten by a shark. I came to a play event and a shark, it's right on the Hudson River, jumped right out at me. It's pretty neat, isn't it? If this is a real shark, I would not be holding a microphone. Who do we have I can talk to? Come on down. What's your name?
My name is Hattie.
Hattie, what is this?
This is a blankie tail. If you like being jawsome, then you'll love one of these.
Jawsome.
And what is the object?
This is a shark. They're super cozy, as you know. As you can feel, blankets, you can climb inside them, get all cuddly, put your feet all the way to the end, waddle around if you want. We make them, you're wearing the adult size because you're never too old to be jawsome. We've also got kid sizes, and we have new baby ones coming out at the end of May that are sleep sacks. So for all those parents out there, they put their babies in a little sleep sack, but they're kind of all boring. This has got all the functionality of a sleep sack with all the fun of a blankie tail. So the whole family can get involved here.
Now, if I was actually in this, could I walk around in it?
Yes, you can. You can put your feet all the way down in the tail and you can waddle around.
Okay.
Actually, if you want to get cozy in that, you might walk around the rest of the show in that, though.
Yeah.
That baby can sleep through anything.
Yes.
A whole array of really fun, different characters, and we're now doing some licensing. So Transformers and My Little Pony and Barbie.
Now, give me an idea of the retail prices.
So the retail prices range from $29 to $34, and then we're coming out with a line for Q4 that's around $19.99 starting.
Okay, and with the high price, you make them for adults.
Yes, we make them for adults. And for instance, if you look,
Don't go too far from the mic.
this is like the new My Little Pony line. There's a ton of embroidery and shine and shimmer. And you can attest to this, even though you're a shark, it's really soft. We're able to get all that kind of that bling in there that everyone loves, but still keep it super cozy.
And this would just be $40?
$39.99.
$39.99. Not $40, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, blankie tails. They're great fun, and they're very comfortable. Dick DeBartolo, Maz Metis, Strider, and the Giz Wiz. One Take Theater here at gizwiz.tv.
Wow. Okay. So that looks fun to do with kids. Like,
yes, I think kids would get a big charge out of that, and especially since you can walk. I assume you can't walk fast, but you can walk around them, in them. That is.
Now, was it more of a towel or just a blanket? It sounded like it was just a blanket.
No, well, it's like a sleeping bag.
Ah, okay. I don't know why I got the impression quickly. She was saying something about a towel, and I was like, do you use that in replacement of a towel?
Oh yeah, no.
That was just me.
Yeah,
okay.
they're all in them here.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can see where if you wanted to walk around in them, you sort of can, but you're not going to run in them. You can
Right.
if you had to get up and go to the kitchen and get snacks, you could do it. But I think kids will get a big charge. You know, the rocket ship is a lot of fun, and they're
for
starting
sure.
to do some characters that are licensed. My Little Pony. I think it's
Yeah,
And
I
I
think
think
it's really nice. I think
and the
that's
price is not
adorable.
bad.
No.
They're very well made.
Yeah,
They're
I don't think that price is unreasonable at all. I think that's really good. It might start getting expensive if you had a family of 3 or 5, but
Yeah, that's true.
for one,
See if they have an adult lodge and put 2 kids in it. You could
there you
save
go.
money that way.
Yeah, exactly. Let them share. Teach them a lesson of sharing while they're checking out there. Now, she said Jossum a few times. Is that some train? Oh, yeah, that is. It's like, that's what they call it. Jossum colors. I was wondering. She was pushing that so hard. I was like, Jossum must mean something to her.
Yes, the Jaws. Oh, I get it.
Jossum colors.
Oh, they should have made the S a capital 2.
Yeah.
So you would think of Jaws.
Jawsome. But there you go. I think this is great. I think it's a fantastic price. I could totally see a family totally enjoying this.
Yeah.
And possibly these need to be, rentable at movie theaters. That's just cuddle up, watch a movie.
There you
Sounds
go.
great.
There you go. Except I would have to have them laundered between every performance.
Exactly. They need to come in those sterile bags that you sometimes get
there you
on
go.
airlines, or that this has been laundered. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Very nice.
All right. Gadget number 2 from Time to Play magazine is this.
We're at Playtime. It's the spring event. And I have grown huge because I can crush this big machine in my hands. Actually, I can't even crush this little machine. But we're here with Paula to talk about the world's smallest. The world's smallest what?
The world's smallest tiny arcade.
Okay, and you have is everything here the world's smallest?
Everything here is the world's smallest. So those classic retro timeless toys like a Rubik's Cube, a Care Bear, right?
These are all things. They're current to me. My apartment's full of them.
Well, we've made them really small.
Oh, so is this really a working arcade game?
Yes. So the key thing with everything in the world's smallest line is that yes, it actually works. So it's in a backlit arcade-style cabinet. It's got a joystick, 2 control buttons, a little high-res screen, and the gameplay is authentic to that 80s arcade style. Even the artwork, we've really kept it authentic.
Did you license it from the original people?
We've licensed it. This is Namco, yes.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And so what would that tiny little arcade game cost?
$20.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
So there's 4 already out. So that is Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man, Space Invaders, and Galaxian. And you can get them on Amazon.com. But new for 2018 in the summer, we're going to have a Frogger, a Dig Dug, and a Galaga. So we're growing that, golden age classic line of toys.
Okay.
Yeah.
And each game is its own device.
It's its own, gameplay and totally.
Okay. And what else do you have?
So I want to show you a Mad Balls because this was also, really popular during the 80s. But during the 80s, they were squishy and bouncy, right? So we brought it back with a little unique twist. So what these do is they glow and glide. All you got to do is you press it down and it just glides across the surface. Funny enough, as these were even featured in Ready Player One. So the 80s is super big right now with Stranger Things. It's a really big trend.
And what does that retail for?
So this is just about $6.99, and this is just out right now.
Out
So
right
it's
now.
Brand new.
Okay. And show me one more thing that might be your biggest seller or your favorite.
My favorite. Oh, that's really hard to choose. Maybe I'll actually go with the pen because we have, the classic, the big version Pez's. Obviously, with World's Smallest, we have the mini. But the great thing is that they just fit real Pez candy. So it's nice for that, I'm saying it because that Friday afternoon snack, I keep it at my desk, and there you go.
Very good. Okay. And your website is?
Superimpulse.com.
Superimpulse.com. Dick DiBartolo, Mads Maddest writer, and the Giz Wiz One Take Theater here at Time to Play Magazine Spring Event. Bye.
I love that name, Super Impulse. They're like,
Yes.
what is our business model? Well, we really want all of these to be just a Super Impulse buy. Okay, what is our name? The same thing.
Yes, exactly.
I've actually seen World's Smallest before, and this is actually one of little World's Smallest device. It is the world's smallest Perplexus. And so I kind of have one already.
Yeah.
It's an itty bitty.
And that one works.
Yeah, it works. It has all the same.
That
sort of
tiny little
stuff.
arcade game works.
Yeah.
They also do the world's smallest Light Bright, the world's smallest Lincoln Logs,
That is adorable.
the world's smallest. Oh, there you go, Rubik's Cube. There's the tiny little
Etch-a-Sketch. Oh my gosh.
Etch-a-Sketch.
Wow. Polaroid
Now the Polaroid,
camera,
it does not
collectible.
take pictures.
Dang it. Yeah, getting
Yeah,
the.
yeah, but look at the Lincoln Logs.
Oh my gosh. Does that break apart?
I
I assume.
don't-
Wow.
I would assume it would. I would assume.
Wow, that is hilarious. Very cool.
I mean, if you
Yeah,
want
I
a
like
hobby
that
collecting
arcade.
something, this is not too bad because they're sort of reasonable. They
Yeah,
range
totally.
from $7 to $20.
And that little arcade cabinet just seems so cool for $20 to have
It's
a
all the
working video game.
Yes, all the original artwork. The Space Invaders sign at the top lights up. They're powered by 3 AAA batteries. I mean, they really have a niche market with this. It's kind of fun.
This is kind of the literal, Moore's law in effect. You can go back, and say, in the future, technology will get smaller and smaller. And to prove it, I have this tiny
Oh, that's
keychain
really
version of Invaders, Space Invaders.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's awesome. I actually really like that. And if they keep coming out with more, I could almost see this as, those pop vinyl figures, something that you could collect of your favorite little things from the past.
Yes, and what? I looked it up online. I thought when I got home and I looked at the video, I thought, wait a minute, that's like a normal size of a Pez dispenser. But then I looked up that particular Pez dispenser, and the real one is 11 inches high.
Oh,
I had no idea that Pez also made
a huge
giant
Pez dispenser.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you have a Pez dispenser at home, you can just say this is the world's smallest because Pez also made
The world's largest? So
largest
this is
Pez
the world's smallest, world's largest Pez dispenser. There you go.
There you go. And finally, something new from Hasbro. So let's take a look.
I am Iron Man. Okay, so this is from Avengers Iron Man, okay? And it's a new VR game from Hasbro. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to their website to get some video because the spokesperson is not here, but they said you can you get the helmet, you get the goggles. Now this is for your phone, iOS or Android, the newer phones. And then you get the targets, which you place anywhere around the room. And then you get the sensor you wear on your hand. And then you become Iron Man, assuming you have $50, okay? But it won several awards at Time to Play Playhouse magazine. And it's going to be a big seller. And it's coming out when? Now. It's available now.
Perfect. That's what we wanted to hear.
And now this is there. Look at it.
Whoosh, whoosh. This is the difference between the Giz Wiz and other
Someone with
production-
money.
Yeah, exactly.
Incoming enemies.
Your power could never be equal to mine.
That's crazy. So it uses virtual reality and augmented reality to place like a glove. Whoops, sorry about that. A glove on your hand, enemies on the walls, and then it uses that VR headset thing with the front-facing camera to overlay all of it. That's crazy. That's
Is it fun?
insane.
You know, but I'm totally lost because I figured I'm recording this for Chad because he'll know exactly if this is fun or not.
It looks crazy fun. Basically, where did I put my
Okay, and
my goggles?
it does not include the phone. Oh my
Right.
God, you have those are Tin Man goggles.
Yeah, this is yeah.
I'm
this is
talking. No, those are Paper Man goggles.
Right. So instead of Iron Man, we got Paper Man goggles. So that's basically what the inside of the helmet is doing. Is you lock in your phone, and then you look through the display, and it uses the phone's camera out of the eyepiece to overlay the whole world on top of. And so it's using those sensors that are on the glove to overlay a fake looking or a real looking CG glove. And then these markers on the walls are helping the app understand where those walls are so it can overlay other things as well. So you need an app and then it would all work together. I'm impressed. I mean, that is really cool.
Yeah, the helmet looks really decent, and I was looking on Amazon, and it's $10 less on Amazon. So it was it's $49.99 suggested retail, and it's $39.99 on Amazon. And there is in the description, I see that it comes with one Infinity Stone. Additional Infinity Stones sold separately, so I'm not quite sure what that is.
Yeah, well, and if you get all 6 of them, then you can destroy half the universe with a snap.
Oh, there you go. Go. But if you mess up those AR markers, you can go on their website and they have a way to just print more at home. So
there you go.
So that's good.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, I think it's they're probably going to do well since the movie is doing so well.
Yeah. Absolutely. That looks. Oh, it looks like you place them on the ground, and I think that could be really, really cool. I want anything with VR and AR, you kind of have to experience. That was something that I kind of noticed with my cardboard. Wow. Yeah, that looks cool. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute.
Anyway, you should get it.
Well, what is the difference? So virtual reality is when you're in the actual item looking around,
taking over. Where you can't see the outside world. It is its own reality. So virtual reality is that. Augmented reality is it uses the world and then overlays a different thing on top of it, but it's still using a camera to see the world. So I would call this augmented reality because you can still see and interact with the world around you. Different from virtual reality, which would totally close you off, and you don't want to bump into walls or anything like that.
Oh, okay. So it's more AR than VR.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Our show is VR. It's not that VR. Our show is just very ridiculous.
Very ridiculous.
But it's
very
a VR experience that's free.
Right. It looks like you actually get the other Infinity Stones from other toys.
Oh,
that's what it looked like. So that little thing up in the corner. That's another Infinity Stone.
So are they different characters?
The action figure. Now, I don't know. I mean, obviously, you'd still only be Iron Man because that's what the helmet is.
Yeah. No. I mean, are these?
Oh yeah, it's like a plot device in the new movie. So
they put everybody in the world in there. I think Alfred E. Newman is in that movie.
Exactly. Any actor with a career is basically. Yeah. Hey, and look, it says AR right there. So yeah, it is.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, I can't imagine just the actor budget on that. I feel like Disney was like, okay, guys, we're hiring 100 of you, okay? So your normal fees are going to have to be reduced because we literally have 100 AAA, actors, AAA level actors. Calm down with your payments there. But yeah.
Yeah, but they don't have to worry. I think it's already made $1 billion or something.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
And that wasn't even with the popcorn. So
No.
So they're doing good. All right. Well, now I've done my 3. There's no stopping. Chad.
Need it, but you might want it at Chad's Crappy Corner. Get it.
Okay, that's my device right there. So
No
this
wonder
is
you had so much trouble getting on the air today.
yeah, exactly.
You need to straighten
I
that
needed all
out.
these plugs from that computer, and I don't understand why it's not working today.
Blaming Microsoft. Look at that.
Exactly. So this is DIY month for my crappy corner. So I decided to take this one in a little bit more of a software direction. So we used a Raspberry Pi that I already have to create something new. So let me show it off. Hey Dickie D, so we're here with another homemade product. This one, I obviously didn't home make the Raspberry Pi, but everything else after the Raspberry Pi was bought was basically home done. Today we are checking out basically a retro console that you can do on your television. So it all starts with the Raspberry Pi. I have the Raspberry Pi 3, and you have to flash what is called retro Pi onto it, and you flash that using any computer. It's pretty simple to do. Once you have that installed, there's a pretty simple setup, and it even detects tons of different types of controllers. This controller I bought from Fry's, but you could buy, you can use any controller that plugs in via USB, so even Xbox controllers that plug in via USB, or other just off-brand name controllers. So once you get that working, you do have to use a keyboard to set that up. Then your next step is to install some ROMs. You just connect wirelessly over this is a Wi-Fi connection to add those ROMs to the device, and then you have all sorts of different stuff to play. We can play Super Nintendo, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance. Mega Drive is also Sega Genesis. The normal Nintendo system, let's just go in here and look at that. One of my favorites from my childhood. And you can see all the different games. I installed a whole bunch of different games, Zelda and just tons of stuff. Let's play some DuckTales. This I actually haven't loaded up yet, so I'm hoping that it works. It tells you that you can configure it if you need to. We don't need to configure anything. And there we go. We have DuckTales going. I was trying to hit A to
Sometimes
select, but
you have to hit start instead of A.
hit start.
So we can choose the Amazon. There we go. And it works. I have to actually use one hand. Whoa, we're gonna get wrecked here. And then we can back out of that. We can go to a different game. We can go to a different console even. Let's go over to the Super Nintendo. And we'll play Super Mario World. How about that? And this just uses the HDMI port that's on the Raspberry Pi. If you're unfamiliar with the Raspberry Pi here, I'm going to set this down so I can use two hands. If you're unfamiliar with the Raspberry Pi, it does have an HDMI port, multiple USB ports, and I actually played a little bit of this, so it remembers my save from where I left off. So we can head on up here, select a world, and it works just as you would expect. It's pretty awesome. So that is the RetroPie on a Raspberry Pi 3, which you can get as long as you have a Raspberry Pi and a game controller.
Okay, so you can check out where to download this on the RetroPie website. And the cool thing is that you just can go back and just relive your childhood,
So there's no charge to play those old games?
So, no, there isn't. Now, what you're doing is you're downloading ROMs, which are kind of the base save that was on that disc that you bought. Like a CD-ROM. It's the thing that you're going to be playing off of. And doing that is probably illegal. Probably. And so you have to go to and find these ROMs. Now you could also, use your own cartridge and get the ROM off of it if you knew how. But most people don't do that. They would just go online and find the ROMs and download them. They're only like a few megabytes, so it's not a big deal nowadays to get these. So you can do it that way. Or you can use your own copy of the game to get these ROMs. And so that is the shady-ish part of this, is that you do need to go and do that. And that's why the RetroPie actually ships with no ROMs. It ships with an emulator, so that'll emulate all the different types of consoles. You can even add extra emulators, but what it has on there is kind of what you're going to be able to use to the extent of the Raspberry Pi. Like, I was really excited about maybe doing a Nintendo 64 emulator, but A, those are a little bit difficult to do, and B, the Raspberry Pi doesn't quite have enough power in order to pull that off. So it ships with the emulator already, and you just need to get your own ROMs, and then you just SSH into the, you just use like CyberDuck or FileZilla or whatever and connect to your local IP address to get to the file system and just drop those in there, and then it finds them and you can play them. So yeah.
Now, is all that info on that website?
Yes, and also, you know, I kind of tried to decide if I should do this review as a how-to or just kind of explaining that you can do it, and I decided to just kind of explain how you can do it because there's lots of good how-tos. Google is your friend when doing this. Is you know, how to set up RetroPie on Raspberry Pi 2. You know, maybe you don't have a 3, maybe you have a 2, or maybe, you know, you want to pull off something a little bit different, or you have a different type of controller. There's like tutorials on how to specifically get like Bluetooth controllers to work and things like that. There was only a few times where things felt a little bit like, okay, this might be difficult if someone didn't understand exactly what you were doing. Like we had to go into command line like once in order to configure.
Once is too much for me.
All you have to do is type sudo, I forget what it was. It was something with Wi-Fi config or something. I had to set up the Wi-Fi configuration to allow to get to SSH into the thing. But that was on the tutorial. So, you know, if you're unfamiliar with something like that, these tutorials online will help you.
If you're unfamiliar with it, go to Amazon, buy one of those little boxes.
Exactly. You can always just buy a tiny little...
For $16.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I know what Raspberry Pi is. What does the 3 sell for? So Raspberry Pi is basically the most basic, almost a complete computer, right?
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Like $30 or something.
Yeah. And one thing that you can be a little bit more comfortable with when going into the system to go into command line is these are really built to tinker with. So there's not much that you can, you know, totally screw up when it comes to this. Raspberry Pi 3, it looks like at Target.com, is $35. And this is the same Raspberry Pi, if you remember a few months ago, or maybe a few weeks ago, that I did the home DIY surveillance kit.
Oh, yes,
with.
yes, right.
So that's what I kind of love about it is it's just a little, you know, hackable computer that's super easy to mess around with, and there's such a community around it that when you do get stuck, you know, you can Google an issue and there's like a life hacker article about it. You know, it's not some random forum that is really difficult to churn through to find your specific issue. It's like name brand blogs that are writing about it, or there's like really detailed and easy to follow wikis because it's such a kind of mainstream product and there's such a big community around it. So that's what I really like about it. So it's easy to get your feet wet with this sort of thing. And I could totally see, this is such a small, tiny device that if you were going to travel a lot and you wanted some retro games to follow you around, or you were going to have friends over, you know, and it's just an easy thing to plug in a few controllers and now have a multiplayer system that is just a Raspberry Pi. So there's a lot of really cool things that the form factor of the Raspberry Pi allows, which I really, really like. And also, if you're someone who's a hardcore gamer, while gaming on emulators may not be the best, you could play versions of the game that are really difficult to get. So like maybe the Japanese version of a specific game that's really hard to track down because it's used and you're in the US. So there's a whole bunch of little reasons to try it out.
Okay.
I can do Commodore 64 ROMs. it can do, really, when it starts to get into the multiple poly games like the N64, PlayStation, that sort of stuff, it starts to not be able to handle that. But anything before like Sega Genesis and like back, it can do. So it can do all the Ataris, it can do all the Commodores, it can do all that stuff. I forget the name of the emulator. It has a pretty well-known emulator built in, and I forget the name of that emulator. But you could also check out what it can handle as well. So yeah, I really, and I learned a few things. One of the things that I learned was I was trying to get the install onto the SD card, and I was having a real hard time with, there's a program called Apple Pie Baker, because I was using my Mac, and I didn't really like it. Found a new program called Etcher, which was a great way to get the install onto the SD card to be able to run it all. So I learned a few things on my adventure into my DIY home retro console. So there you go. That's it for this crappy corner. Now let's dive into Dick's Gadget Warehouse.
They're geeky and they're goofy, together they are loopy. When gadgets pass away, he takes them out to play in Dick's Gadget Warehouse.
Foghorn.
And our video is from Mo. Mo is a regular contributor to the show. Buys probably as many gadgets as I do, and every once in a while, he comes up with one that I somehow did not see. And I watched this video earlier today, and I already bought one of these. So let's see, Mo. Mo said, "Hey guys, I have one more gadget I think you guys might like." And this is it.
Hey guys, this is a HUA Fly wireless charger power bank, 10,000 milliamp battery charger.
That's a lot of milliamps.
Not only can you charge devices through USB, but this power bank charges it wirelessly if you have the iPhone 10 or some of the Android phones. So I just got it from Amazon, $25 Prime shipping.
What?
And
No.
I'm going to try it out, see how well it works. I like the fact that I can just throw this in my bag and, then throw my phone in there when I need to charge and not need to unplug it or plug it in. Just go in and grab it when I need it. So I'm hoping that this makes charging a lot easier than it was in the past with the power bank. So this is everything that comes inside of it. So this is the connection to charge it. That's a lightning connection, a USB connection. This is the output power. And this is a LED flashlight. And this is the button for the LED indicator of power. It comes with a little bit of power. And look at the flashlight.
Wow, that is pretty.
That's
pretty
an
good
amazing price,
Finished
isn't it?
Charging up the wireless charger. I left it overnight.
Either that or it's been a while
Full charge, but
since I've looked at wireless chargers.
yeah, plug it here. See, it's a full charge. And this is my iPhone. Let's put it on.
And I did check. It does do the LG G6.
There we go.
Nice.
Works.
So we'll work on my phone. And there's a list of all the phones on Amazon that it can charge.
It's a nice looking charger. I'll tell you that much.
I agree. I think that's pretty nice.
And it even
Boy, that was
has a
fast.
case.
Yeah.
This is my
Oh, look
Game
at
Boy
this.
Game Boy case. I did a video on it already. It's pretty cool. You play games on it.
What? That's cool.
And,
I have to go look for that video. I think I missed that.
That is really, really nice. Because
Yeah.
I could also see just
it works. Like
throwing
it's gonna be nice.
throwing that in your
accessory to
pocket?
have.
Absolutely.
and
It's
just walking around, you know, and you'd be able to easily pull your phone back out, work with it, not have I can't tell you how many times I am at a convention and I have the battery in my back pocket with a wire going to my front pocket with my phone.
Yes. Yes,
That's
or
awesome.
you have your phone in your pocket and your external battery charger and the cable between them hanging out of your back. Yeah, so this just put them back together and stick it in your pocket and you charge as you walk. I think
love
it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought one. I think it was $25.99, or it might be higher now, but somehow that Wiki Buys came up and said, "Would you like another $2 off?" And I said, "Okay."
Sure, why not?
Yeah. So mine's coming on Saturday.
I love it.
So Mo, thank you very much, Mo. You'll get issue number 1 of Mad Magazine, and we're looking for more videos. We love videos from past listeners, but we also love videos from new people. Okay, make a 2 to 3 minute video. Anything to do with the gadget. We especially love old gadgets. If the show today made you think, wait a minute, I have a bunch of old gadgets in the warehouse, in my attic or basement, make a little video, put it on YouTube. There's a little drop-down menu. Click Unlisted if you just want us or people you send the URL to see it. Do that. And email it to, send us the link at mail@gizwiz.tv, and do it soon because next week we're doing 2 shows.
2 shows, baby.
Yes, exactly. Mail@gizwiz.tv. If you live in the United States, you get a Mad and Alfred E. Newman picture. If you live anywhere in the world, I will physically sign one of those pictures, send you a high-res image, print it out, hang it up. No one will know the difference, that it's not the original, because the original is secure in a cardboard box under my desk. So when you come to the United States, come get it.
Perfect. With that, let's move on to the letter.
Become the letters, your lovely letters. Become the Giz Wiz letters now.
Ooh. Now, this is very funny because I changed the letter to another letter from Mo only because of what his letter is about. Fits so well with the world's smallest toys. So his letter goes, "Hi guys, I saw this. Thought you would find it as cool as I did. It brings back a lot of memories. I wish they also made full-size replicas, or at least shoebox size ones. But take a look at this. This is a company that makes miniatures of equipment."
Oh my gosh. The Mini IMSIA 8080.
It's an old 2 floppy disk drive.
Oh my gosh.
And there's a quarter to show. I mean, between this, Chad, are those
an itty bitty GameCube? Oh my gosh.
An itty bitty game controller too, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is the Sega. I think it's the Sega Genesis. Yeah, that's the Sega. And this is what I could play on my Raspberry Pi. Probably I might need to grow my fingernails out to use that controller.
Anyway, it is so bizarre that not only can you have the world's tiniest games, you can have non-working models. They look a little bit crude.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to be 3D printed, the resolution still probably isn't going to be.
Yeah, it's probably some guy who bought a 3D printer and said, "I got to make my money back."
Exactly. Golly, that's incredible, though. There's a little.
But actually, they're great conversation starters. Now, I don't know. CA 1322, does that also mean American? I don't know about
I think
that.
that's
it's Canadian. Oh, so it's going to be a little bit more, I think.
I bet. That is also like, these ones.
Oh, look at the
little Macintosh and stuff like that. Like, I would understand, but there's some pretty specific equipment that I wouldn't have expected them to.
Oh my gosh.
to focus on.
There's it. Someone was talking about the Commodore 64. There it is.
Oh my gosh.
That
Is this
is
a Raspberry Pi case? Oh, it's a Raspberry Pi Zero case. Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. This is back in the day when computers had chairs built into them because they were so big. They were a fashion statement.
Yes. Actually, they had chairs in it because if you wanted to print a high-res picture, you had to sit down because it would take about an hour.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What a weird.
That is hilarious. I love it.
There's my Atari 800.
Oh
Just go up one more. There it is.
Oh man, with the
And
audio
the
cassette player.
Yes, because the Atari 800 was $600, and the hard drive, the floppy drive, I believe was either $400 or $500. So I had to get the cassette deck because that was only $100.
Wow.
So yeah, I know.
Wow.
So like my Atari system was like $1,000. For $1,000 today, you can buy something really nifty.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, that was really a cool find. Love that. I could just
two
see...
finds. Mo, you found two things.
Oh my gosh! Just going through this and trying to find, those little pieces that speak to you, speak to your history, and picking those out and ordering them. That is amazing. I think that my dad had this calculator.
The Sinclair?
I think. No, I'm just kidding. That's incredible. That is really, really crazy. Very, very, very good. Okay, thanks, Mo, for the letter. With that, you guys should play What the Heck Is It over at gizwiz.biz. All you have to do, head on over to gizwiz.biz, find the What the Heck Is It game in the sidebar, and play along with us. This is the gadget. This is a photo of the gadget. This isn't just a piece of the gadget. This is the whole gadget. It's pretty obvious to me that this is some sort of old ink press system that you would load up ink and then it would go like, and then business cards would shoot out of it. I have no idea. That if you think you know that you know what this is. There are 6 Mad magazines for correct answers, 12 Mad magazines for clever, hilarious, funny, and interesting answers. So get a guessing over at gizwiz.biz. Also, big thanks to our patrons over at patreon.com/GizWiz. That is our home. There you can support the show every single episode. And to the people who have supported, thank you. Starting our 4th year of independent shows, all because of you guys. So thank you so much. If you enjoy the show, please consider heading over to patreon.com/GizWiz and setting up a little bit of a give back towards us. We would love that so much, and thank you to everyone who has done that so far. Also, sometimes Patreon isn't your deal. If you want to give one time, we have a PayPal link on our website on the Patreon page. Speaking of our website, gizwiz.tv, there you can find all of our previous episodes as well as catching us live. And we said it before in the episode, we are going to record 2 episodes next week because I will be gone the next week, and I think even Dick has a show that he's heading to. So 2 weeks, and so next week we're recording 2. 2 weeks from now we won't have a show.
We're doing one Tuesday and one Thursday.
That's right. One Tuesday and one Thursday. So come back on Tuesday, same time, just different day, and join us for the Giz Wiz, and that'll be next week. You can watch us live 4:30 Pacific time, 7:30 Eastern at the website. It's just there on the main page, so you can
go into the chat room. We have our chat room is amazing. It's
and
great
say
fun.
hi. Don't just be silent. Say hi, and join the community. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Giz Wiz. One more reminder to send in your videos for next week because we need 2 of them. Mail at gizwiz.tv. See you next week.
I'll be here.